Again, thank you so much for being with us, and thank you for sharing the wealth. What's wealth? Wealth is the education, wealth is the knowledge, wealth is the experiences that you are giving other people, especially your family. That's why you're here on earth, is to have experiences. That's it, and the good experiences. And good parents, like Robert Allen taught me, good parents give their kids good memories. Bad parents give their kids bad memories. Your job is to give your kids good memories. It's not about how much money you got. It's about living a life, changing your rules, being happy, making a difference in people's lives. So I'm so excited to be able to bring on Mr. Kurt Mortensen today. Kurt is helping us and teaching the class about small businesses. Now, step number one is you need to earn more money. You need to make more money. Now, most people do that with a job and a second job. But the thing that you've got to add to that is that many of you need a small business. I have multiple small businesses. You make more money, you separate it. Number three is you got to give some away. Number four is to automatically invest. Number five is to save and spend. But the real key crux is the wealth formula, which is you take money out every month, every time you make money. And I don't care how much it is, it's a small amount, doesn't matter. It's the principle of doing it. You take money out every time you make money, and you put that into your separate GoTrade account, your separate investment account. And you do that over time. And then you have that go up in value. Like I said, my parents did this with their grandkids. They had 70 investment accounts. I had an investment account when I was 14. I was investing in long-term stocks. And so that's the key. But most of us need a small business. We need to make more money, because the simple fact is the governments around the world are printing more money. So you've got to make more money. You got to invest in assets that go up in value, that make money. That's the key. And so that's where we're going. So we're going to jump over to Kurt, and I'm going to bring Kurt on here. Kurt's going to be talking about our next section in our program, which is how to make more money with your small business. Kurt, if you're there, take it away.
Hey, welcome back. This is lesson number 2 as we take this deeper dive in understanding family prosperity, what you can do, what you can change. This is a workshop. Make sure you've printed chapter number 2, lesson number 2, so you can work along. And all of us can work on some of these areas. We have not arrived. So let's go through some of these things, give you some more tools, and talk about ways to get to prosperity, to achieve your goals, to get what you want. It's easier than you think. It is simple. Let me define simple. Something you can do. Something you can learn to do. You see plenty of people around you that maybe they weren't that smart, but they're accomplishing more. What do they have that you don't have? Probably nothing. You can learn these skills. You can master these skills. So let's take a look at it. Let's understand it. Let's look at lesson 2. Let's look at the overview right now. So lesson number 2 is, what personal habits must I develop to be prosperous? Think about it. Every habit you have is getting you closer to your goals of being prosperous. And other goals you have the opposite effect. So your habits and what you're looking at, are they helping you get your goals, or are they hurting? There's no in between. I mean, you can have some neutral goals. Maybe they don't matter. But most of your goals do matter. You need to take a look at them. So we're going to talk about, how do you spend your time each day? We've talked about before, you're probably wasting 1 or 2 hours. There are ways to manage your time to get better habits. Do you keep your promises? If you could change anything about how your family lives, what would it be? What is the biggest change I need to make in order to get beyond getting enough money to buy food for today? Big picture. Have enough for a week, for a month, a year's supply. What is your goal? Where does the power to change come from? What do you think? Is it going to be your neighbor, the government, or is it going to be you? The main idea is we're going to talk about everybody has 24 hours a day. It's the same for anybody on this planet, that we need to provide for our families. We need to break free of that poverty mindset. Where's the power to change anybody on this planet? Understand exactly how this works. So make sure you have this, you've downloaded it. I'm going to add some things to this. We're going to work through your habits. You have good ones. You have ones you probably shouldn't be having. And again, you have the ones that are neutral. Maybe they aren't making a big effect in your life. So let's take a look at there, towards the bottom there of the first page. Before you begin to establish new habits, you must decide what you want to change. Do you in fact want to move from poverty to prosperity? Why? Do you really want it? Do you believe you can do it? Can I talk you out of it? If you think this is your year, and I ask you, can I talk you out of it? You're like, well, maybe, I hope not. No, you've got to be saying, no, you can't. It's time. I'm ready. You got to quit dipping your toe in the pool of financial independence and jump in, make it happen. You know you can do this. You know you can make this happen. It's time. Decide that it's time. And at the bottom of that first page of lesson 2, now they've clearly explained the desire to escape poverty. You're ready to make changes in your life. However, you must first recognize that you must have control over some things in life, but not others. You can only change the things you can control. So there's 2 columns there you need to spend time to work on. You can do this later. What can you change about your life? You sure? And next one, what can't you change? You know what I'm asking again, are you sure? Are you sure about that? Can you change them? Are you able to change them? Do you believe you can change them? That's going to be the first step of this lesson. So the top of page 2 there, you can learn to be successful. You can. You've seen others do it. You can do this. But let's go towards the middle where it says time management and success. We talked about everyone has the same amount of time. Can you squeeze out an extra hour, 2 hours a day? That's what most people are wasting. There are things you can do to focus, to concentrate, to get things done, to leverage yourself. There are ways to do that. So take a look at those questions. How do you think prosperous people accomplish so much each day? What are they doing different? Same amount of time, accomplishing 2 to 3 times more. What habits have they developed that enable them to get so much more done? What have you seen as you look at others? You benchmark other people. You see what they're doing. What can you adapt to your life to squeeze out again another hour, 2 hour day to focus on your family, to focus on that side hustle? Then the next one, at the end of lesson 1, you are asked to list the things you do each day. Review your worksheet. Think about how you use your time compared with how prosperous people might use their time. List 4 things you think you might do differently than you. So you're looking at it, you're thinking about it, you're adjusting, fine-tuning your life. What can you do to find an extra hour, 2 hours a day? Then our last question, please compare the list from the end of lesson 1 with these daily habits of successful people. These habits are patterns of success. They make up the culture of success. Remember, you want to be a millionaire? Whatever your goal is, you start thinking, acting, and doing what that person's doing. Whatever that person is doing, you need to match that. And I'm going to add some more of these later, but here are a few of them there at the bottom of that second page. They rise early and work long hours. They don't give up easily. They use a lot of helpers. They make lists of what they need to do each day and work on those lists based on the most important things they need to do. They set goals for things they really want to accomplish. Moving on to that next page. Which 3 of these practices seem most important and most urgent for you to adapt in your own life right now? Again, success is no big test. What are other people doing? What can you adapt? What can you use? And it doesn't have to be exactly like them. I love it when you study success. I love what my early mentor Jim Rohn said. He says, be a student, not a follower. Meaning, take what works for you. I mean, if it's working for everybody, you should probably do it. But if there's some things you can fine and tune, adjust for you, you can still use many of the things you're learning from other people and these courses. They're continuing to establishing new habits. Breaking bad habits and replacing them with good habits takes a lot of work. Some say 21 days. That's a good start, but you got to have to really reinforce a habit. And the key, what it said there, you have to replace your habit. Don't just change or stop. You replace it with something else. If it's a bad habit holding you back, what are you going to replace it with? Is it watching an hour TV with an hour of exercise? Is it not doing some of the things you should or should not be doing? Those are the things that you want to add and take a look at. The next sentence it says, it is one thing to make a temporary change. We want permanent change. Not just temporary, not just when people are watching, but permanent change. And a lot of people like to layer their changes, layer their habits, meaning if there's 1 or 2 habits that you do really well every morning, you're really good at making your bed and doing your 10 push-ups or whatever it is, you want to layer it, meaning the one you want to add, you put it in the middle of those 2. I mean, if you're really good at making your bed, that second one's the one you're working on, and the third one you already know you need to do. You can layer them, and that could be one thing that can help you achieve your goals and change your habits. So take a look at those bullets. These are some of the new habits you may need to develop to move from poverty to prosperity. Place more value on your time. Time's more important than money. You could always get more money, but you can't get more time. Get up early and start your day earlier. Establish a pattern of getting things done the first time. Do things in the proper order. Make lists and work on the most important items first. Look beyond today, the future. Track daily accomplishments and achievements. Don't spend all your money you make each day. Keep promises to everyone, even yourself. Engage in income-generating activities that will bring more money into your family. Another homework assignment there towards the bottom, or at the bottom. Which of the personal habits listed above are you prepared to adopt so your family can move toward prosperity? Write down 4 new habits you need to establish. Explain what you think each new habit will help accomplish each day. Write them down, go back to it. You know where it is. These things will help you out. It's proven, it works. Then on the next page, there's a little commitment there for you. It says, are you prepared to promise that you will do what is necessary to move beyond surviving to start thriving? Can you keep the promise? Check it. Yes. Are you ready? You ready to make it your time, your year? Or you're just still waiting. Maybe you need to check no and revisit it in a week or 2. You can break free from the chains and poverty that held your family down. I'm not saying it'll be easy, but you can do it, and it is worth it. Establishing good habits and practicing them daily is one of the keys to prosperity. Some additional homework? Yes, this is what makes it happen. It says field work. Go to at least one marketplace, mall, swap meet, flea market, wherever you call that. Go there with a fresh outlook and make a list of possible income-producing activities you can do that will increase the money coming into your family. What are other people doing? Who's thriving? What's popular? What problems are they solving? What can you do? What can you be passionate about? We've talked about these things, but look around you. It doesn't have to be super unique to you. You can do it better, do it a little bit different, maybe do it with a little more integrity, whatever it is. Take a look around with a different set of eyes, with a fresh outlook. Then the final writing assignment, based on what you've learned from that lesson, summarize your thoughts and what personal habits you need to develop in order to become more prosperous. In your answer, be sure to discuss what bad habits you need to abandon, what new habits you need to develop, and what the resulting practice of those good habits will be on your family and your business. And final one there, bottom line, to move out of poverty, I must decide what I want to get out of poverty. You got to decide right now to do it, learn what I need to know, do different to get out of poverty, and be consistent every day. Again, the key here is not to say, oh, that was nice. Do this. We can all work on these skills. This is a work in progress. We're always working on it. We've never arrived. It's like, say, I already exercised, I already showered, I already shaved, I already ate for the week. No, this is something we got to do every day. That is the key. So a couple more things to think about. A Chinese proverb that says 3 feet of ice does not result from 1 day of freezing. Meaning, maybe it's taken a while for these habits to really show. Being deep in debt, being in bad health, usually doesn't happen overnight. It's months, years of bad habits that are piling on top of each other. So it might take a little time to unpile them, to melt that ice, and that's okay as long as you're willing to melt that ice. The other thing to think about too is where are your habits taking you? Closer or farther from your goals? Okay. What are your habits costing you? I mean, think about what your habits have cost you over your lifetime, the amount of money, that stack of money that you could have in your bank account if you would have changed these sooner. But the good news is you can change them now and get on track. So also think about, where did you learn this habit? What are you going to replace it with? Who's going to support you? Get your family and friends involved. Have an accountability partner. Say, look, I'm going to be walking every day at 6 a.m. I want to meet you here every day at this time. You hold me accountable. You ask me every day if I ate healthy. Whatever it is, find an accountability partner. It's key. This is very valuable. Well, let me add some things to this. As I've been researching over the years, millionaires and multimillionaires, what are they doing different? What habits does a millionaire have? What are those $1 million habits? So this is some of my research, and this comes from Thomas Corley, who's researched millionaires, self-made millionaires. What are they doing differently? What are the habits of these self-made millionaires? So I'm going to go through some of his list. I'll add some of mine, and maybe add some of yours. What have you seen for very successful people that you can add to your list of habits that you want to add? This first one, They read consistently. He says 88% of the rich devote 30 minutes or more each day to self-education and self-improvement. What's interesting, he said there was 3 types of books: biographies of successful people, self-help or personal development books, and history is what they're reading. And you know this, that's why you're here at the Success and Money Foundation. You're learning, you're growing. It doesn't have to be books. It could be mentoring, it could be coaching, it could be audios, videos, whatever it is, as long as you're learning and growing every day. And TV does not count. The television does not count. It's no secret that most CEOs read 6 books a month, that most nice homes have a library. There's something about turning the TV off. And here's something I learned the other day. When you look at successful people, they make sure the TV room is a separate room where the TV's off and there's time for reading and learning. And not only that, a Harvard study found that those who are learning and growing every day, they're more optimistic about life, they're more enthusiastic about where they're going, what they're going to accomplish. But those who don't learn and grow every day become very negative and pessimistic. Next one, he says they exercise. Exercise gives you more time. It's a great habit. He said 76% of rich exercise 30 minutes a day, aerobically. And that included running, jogging, walking, and biking. He says cardio is not only good for the body, but it's good for the brain. And I say it again, it gives you more time, you feel better, you think better, you sleep less. You have to find time to do something. And maybe you can multitask. You can listen to audios and videos while you exercise. You could do 2 things at once. That could save you time. Next one, they hang out with other successful people. We know that one. It says the rich are always on the lookout for individuals who are goal-oriented, enthusiastic, and have an overall positive mental outlook. So find better friends, wealthier friends, more successful friends, more driven friends, more motivated friends. You're always on the lookout for someone that you can synchronize with, that you can get with, that you can work together to build your future success together. Here's an interesting one. They pursue their own goals. It says, well, too many people make the mistake of chasing someone else's dream, such as their parents. Wealthy people have their own goal. They're passionate about it. And when you're passionate about it, it gives you energy, persistence, and focus. And you need that to overcome failures, mistakes, and rejection. See, a lot of times we just rent our dreams from society, from our parents, from our schooling, and it's not what we really wanted. Own it. It's what you want. Do you really want that? Are you passionate about it? Are you excited about it? That is what wealthy people have in common. And here's a tough one. I don't like this one. I struggle with this one. Early to bed and early to rise. Said that most self-made millionaires woke up at least 3 hours before their workday started to plan it, to organize it, to think it through. They spent the time. They get up early before most people. Most people roll out of bed and just barely make it to work or whatever they need to do. That's an interesting one. And that also helps you with disruptions. And I've noticed that with really great managers and leaders. They get to work early because that's the only time they really get things done, because they're putting out fires the rest of the day. Something to think about, something I'm working on. That's part of his studies. And he also mentioned too with that, you have more control in your life because you're managing your disruptions, you're getting more done in the morning, you're crossing more things off your life. Here's one, you know this to be true, that's why you're here. They have multiple sources or streams of income. Said 65% had at least 3 streams of income that they created prior to making their first $1 million. Examples he used was real estate, stock, investing, a side business, a side hustle. And we know those to be true. Those trainings are on successandmoneyfoundation.org. They're there. Infopreneuring, the marketing of information, marketing your business online. There are subsets of real estate, different ways to do stocks. There are a lot of different things that you can do. But don't, as they say, put all your eggs in one basket. You need multiple sources of income. Next one, they find and check in with mentors. We know that's part of your personal development. Finding a mentor puts you on the fast track to wealth accumulation. He says they don't only just influence your life, they regularly and actively participate in your success. They've been through the school of hard knocks. I mean, you could go through the school of hard knocks. I don't know why you would. With a mentor, they've been there. They can see around the corner. They're like, no, don't do this. Do it this way. Try it this way. A lot less failure, a lot less setbacks when you have a mentor. And that's the key. As you grow in this, you should be mentoring other people and get mentored. That's how success works. Think about your weakness in your life. You should find a mentor and then start mentoring the people around you about what you're learning about success and wealth. They're positive. Says long-term success is only possible when you have a positive mental outlook. He says positivity was a hallmark of a self-made millionaire. And that's the key. I've done the research. Optimistic people live longer, make more money, have better relationships, are happier. I mean, they attract more people, they attract more wealth. It's there. We know it works. You can do better. Get more control of your thoughts. Get rid of some of those negative thoughts, or at least replace them. Try to be more optimistic. Surround yourself with more optimistic people. Try to visualize the future more so you can get past that worry, because when you're stuck on worry, it's your vision's not strong enough. Here's an interesting one. They have good etiquette. Self-made millionaires have mastered certain rules of etiquette principles you have to master to be successful. You have to be likable. You have to show respect. We know that one. He goes on to say thank you notes, acknowledging important life events, weddings, birthdays, eating politely, using table manners, the way you dress, all the things your parents probably taught you. That's common. You don't want to be repelling people. And we know, just to add to this, that successful people have more friends, and you have more friends when you have more etiquette, more respect, and you have better people skills. Next one's they help others succeed. What does Zig Ziglar say? That more people help achieve their goals, more people help you achieve your goals. Having a team, you're helping other people succeed. He says no one realizes success without a team of other successful-minded people is not going to happen. You want to focus on helping those who are pursuing success. Optimistic, goal-oriented, positive, uplifting. They also found they volunteer, they give back more, they help out more. That's all part of this process to become a successful person. Those are $1 million habits. In fact, let me add a little bonus here. The two that I've seen with other millionaires that I've used that make a big difference. The first one is that successful people take time to be alone with their thoughts. Thinking is the key to success. 15 minutes a day, be alone with your thoughts. It's crazy, as I was researching and interviewing successful people for one of my books, that intuition, that impulse, that inner voice, listening, taking time to be alone with your thoughts is huge. As you move up organizations, it makes a big difference. People don't openly talk about it because, how do you explain intuition, that internal voice, being alone with your thoughts, the universe talking to you? People don't talk about that, but it's real when you talk to successful people. Everybody defines it in a different way, but it's important to take time to be alone with your thoughts. Go on a walk without music, just kind of listen, sit still. It makes a huge difference. It allows you to brainstorm, to think of multiple solutions and the perfect solutions to many of the problems you're facing right now. And the other one too I'll add is high emotional intelligence, where people can handle their emotions. They're not quick to anger. They're not always frustrated. They're not full of resentment. And the big one, they face their fear. Successful people have the same fear, but they faced it. They realize that it's cost them too much money. And sometimes they fake it till they make it, but they take the step. They don't let the fear paralyze them. They control their emotions. They use the emotions in the right way. That is the key to success. So there you have it. That's lesson 2. Plenty of homework to work on, plenty of things to work on. We've listed those millionaire habits, those successful habits. Pick 1 or 2 at least. Start applying them. What habits are you going to replace? What habits are helping you? What habits are hurting you? You know what to do. Go through it again, answer the questions, review your notes, get on the path to success. You've got this. We know you can do this. It's simple. Something you can do. Something you can learn to do. If millions of people around the world can do it, you can do it too. That is the key. Remember our motto: for things to change, you must change. And for things to get better, you must get better. Let's add a word to that. For your income to change, you must change. And for your income to get better, you must get better. So do it, do your homework, follow it through, and follow us on the next lesson, which will be lesson number 3.
Thanks, Kurt. And we're going to be right back, where we're going to go into one more segment for today. So I want to thank Kurt so much. And Stephen Gibson. This is a wonderful book that he's written. And he is the founder of ACE, the Academy for Creative Enterprise. I highly recommend that you search those out. We have some wonderful courses and classes that Stephen did, as well as others. But we got to get that small business up and running.